Right. All right. Are you there? What happened to the fuel back? Oh, the color is shifting. I suppose that go probably means I'm supposed to do this. Hello and welcome, everyone. We are No Shots Fired. This is episode 7, The Cashew and the Reluctant Raven. And this week on the podcast, we're going to talk about a lot of different fantastical things, to be a lot of little tidbits for your imaginations. We're going to talk about what we've been playing lately. We're going to focus on the favorite levels we have in various genres of game. Then we're going to delve a little bit into some stealth mechanic games. We're going to talk about the new upcoming Nintendo Switch, some of the games we're excited about that, things we're excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And beside that, as always, we're going to hopefully this week get to those Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue pro tips that you all have been waiting for.
Someday I'm gonna come on and I'll have bought that game, and we're really
we're
gonna
just going to be streaming it. I think that's that's the best way to do it. All right, in case you're here from my channel, welcome. It's been, I think, over a year since I've streamed. That can't be right. It's been at least 6 months.
Been a bit.
Since I've streamed.
A little bit.
Which I apologize for, but we're going to start doing that more regularly. So welcome back in case you come here from the stream. First of all, let's jump right into it. What are we playing, Doc? What are we playing?
We've been delving into some Hitman. So it came out last year, and it's actually the release of it was pretty cool because it's come out in like episodes, and so at least you and I aren't experiencing this at least, but I was reading people who really kind of enjoyed that because they released one level at a time for like each month or so.
I actually didn't know that.
And so for that month, like they spent time, you could really spend time getting into that level, or like a month and a half, and they said that it really got them into the game mechanics a lot more, actually, and instead of just kind of rushing through it, having every level available at once. So, and they said, enough downtime had passed, but by the time the next level came out, they were excited to go to do Hitman again. So, it's actually kind of an interesting, like one of the few examples I can think of where an episodic thing actually seemed to work to its benefit, at least for the people who were experiencing it at the time.
It's only a matter of time, and I will say this right here. Definitive statement, money in the bank, putting my reputation on it, that an episodic release game format is going to be a major wave in the future. As soon as somebody combines a storyline like Game of Thrones with a game that can match...
So with just enough gameplay to keep that kind of
Right.
hook and that level of story, yeah, that'll be crazy.
And I think that'll work best in an MMO type format. But
Definitely.
again, that's my dream. That is the game I would build if I could. Is an MMO where there's this ongoing massive storyline that, if you want, you can try to influence. But we're going to be talking like you are one mercenary in a world of millions of people, and there are kings and queens and all this stuff going on, and you're privy to getting to watch all of this story play out. In what format, I'm not exactly sure. It might just be you get tidbits based on where you are in the world or what you're experiencing in the world.
Yeah.
But you have like this massive cool storyline all moving independently of you that you get to try to like live in or influence as best you can, and you have to come up with alliances with other people and fight against that. An example of something like that I've heard about recently. This game is not something that I am playing right now. We're still in the what we're playing part of the broadcast, but it's I'm going to tie it in because it kind of goes with what I'm saying would be really cool if they did in games more. Have you heard of it was kind of like the predecessor to No Man's Sky. It was like, oh man, now I'm not going to be able to come up with the name. It was like something dumb. It's a terrible name. Oh my god, this is ruining.
It's not a space game.
It's a space game.
Is this the one that's got like unbelievable amounts of money? It's not Star Citizen, is it?
It's not Star Citizen. It is. I'm going to search the store. It's like
Sky.
It's got an aggressive assassin. How do you search the store in Steam?
It's not the most convenient thing.
I don't want to explore the queue. I want it's like oh blade. No, what's a thing
So
that
it's a
are like
space game.
blades in space?
Space blades.
We had if I look at No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky is still $60. Are people actually buying this game?
Probably not.
$60? Why would you? It's terrible.
That was a
How do
bummer.
I?
That was a
How
definite
do I?
bummer.
How do I see? Okay, I want to see open world. I want to see sci-fi. I want to see space. How do I search for that? And this is the worst, absolute worst stream right now. But I'm really dedicated to coming up with the name of this game. I want to find those three tags: space, open world. I guess just space and open world probably will do it. But I don't know how to do that because I'm.
Okay. Well, you searched a little bit, but like,
You
so
keep talking.
real quick, back to Hitman for a second. We've kind of the sheer variety of things you can do in each level has really impressed me so far. I think I went through that Paris Fashion Show level. I think I killed 3 people, or 3 extraneous people. Whereas you guys went through a level last night, and how many? Like 24?
We killed 24 people. Jay Money and I.
And those were both mission successes, correct? So
Yep, yeah, successful mission. We didn't score any points because
you lose points for the non-essential kills. That's true.
Well, our clients apparently don't like collateral damage, and there was a lot. But my gosh, Dave, this next level, which I'm really excited to play with you, is massive. It's an Italian coastal town. You can walk all through the town. The targets are in this mansion. There's an underground laboratory beneath the mansion.
Okay, I've heard about this one. Yeah.
My God, there's a priest. We were a priest for a while. There's a plague doctor outfit. There's just a wealth of options.
Yeah.
There.
So yeah, I the number of times you can go into the same level, which is part of why I think the episodic thing worked to its credit, and do different stuff seems to be fairly substantial. So.
Well, I think it works extremely well for this game, especially because what they give you are so many different tools and ways to beat the mission. And if they dumped it all at once, a lot of people would rush through all the levels and probably
definitely
never go back and just quit the game really quickly.
And then that depth of gameplay would be lost because people just wouldn't stick with it. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's definitely something we've been enjoying. Would you have any luck?
Elite Dangerous?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so hey, check this out. It's a space adventure trading and combat simulation game. But check this out. This is something that's happened recently in the game, which I think is incredible, and the kind of thing that I want to see in games is in this world, this giant open world space game. They've given people hints of alien life, but they never revealed aliens.
Oh, okay. I know the story. Yes.
And then recently, a random person, as they were traveling through space, got like sucked through a wormhole, and there's just this massive alien ship just like looking at them. This alien ship scans them, and then it disappears, and it's just this one guy. And this one guy then went on the internet and was trying to convince people that about what he saw, and people were trying to decide whether or not he is like making this up or he actually saw aliens, and he had he DVR'd it or something like that.
Yeah.
And he put that online. And then eventually the Elite Dangerous dev team kind of with a tweet or something, they said something like, have you seen this or something? They kind of confirmed without explicitly confirming that what he saw was actually part of the game, and this was something they intended to release. And I think that's just incredible. That's exactly what I want. I want a game.
That's a cool ship. I brought up a PC Gamer article. That's a cool ship too.
That is a cool ship. Yeah, I mean, they did this. That's awesome. And
so is this co-op, or is this kind of? Are you in your own world, or is it?
I actually have no idea.
To plug one of my other favorite sites, actually, it's kind of funny you mentioned this today because Giant Bomb, one of my favorite video game sites, actually just started doing some playthroughs of Elite Dangerous today. So.
Oh, cool.
Although you have to be it's premium content, so you gotta be a member for that nonsense.
Premium
which I am,
content.
but
classic.
Okay. I say if that's co-op.
If that's co-op, I mean that'd be something to look forward to or look into. I know, actually, in one regard, when it was initially released, there just wasn't a lot of content there, but they have continually added more and more content over time.
Oh, it says co-op. All right.
It could be something that worth getting into, especially.
Add to wish list.
Yeah. Very well. I guess I'll
Okay.
throw it on.
Excellent.
Throw it on there too.
One other game I've been playing, much to Valen's chagrin, is VA-11 Hall-A Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Now this game, yeah, it's something. It's basically one of those visual novel type games. So it's a lot of reading. By a lot of reading, I mean all reading.
Mostly reading. Yeah.
Trying to bring up a little video footage here. Is that bartending? That's where that is.
Very little bartending, surprisingly.
I make some drinks, but it is not difficult. So.
Yeah, it feels to me like this guy came up with this novel, or at least a bunch of dialogue, and he's like, all right, I guess I need some sort of interface or way for the user to feel like they have some agency. Oh, I guess we'll just have them make some drinks. Wait, was that your lady?
Yeah.
I didn't know what she looked like. She's a cutie.
Oh, yeah. So there's some interesting and unfortunately interesting characters. The music is fantastic. Definitely, I enjoy the soundtrack quite a bit.
A fountain of spirits waiting for tired souls, and if you don't like writing like that, then you're not going
to. And the name Glitch City, that's awesome. So I'm spending some time in Glitch City. I probably will continue. I just got into Chapter 2. So, but that's it. There's not much to say in terms of gameplay or any of that sort of stuff. I enjoy the pixel aesthetic, I guess you could call it, and the soundtrack is one of the things keeping me going in that. And those are kind of the two games we've been playing that are at least different from our usual fare, I would say. So
I especially like Hitman. You can kind of all of the different possibilities in the game. The different tools you can use, anything from automatic shotguns if you really want to go loud, to piano wire or wrenches or baseball bats or whatever you pick up throughout the mission. Last night, Jay Money and I found a plague doctor outfit that was on display in a scientist's personal lab area. So we donned the plague doctor outfit, and then he also had on display both an amputation knife and a circumcision knife. And we picked up the circumcision knife, obviously, and used that to kill a bunch of people. So it was good times.
Excellent.
You can set proximity mines. You can just again.
I'm saying there's a lot of stuff to pick up in the world itself. So just you feel like there's a lot of options. It's good.
Now there are two kinds of world building that can go on, which Doc and I have talked a bunch about world building, because they do a lot of it in the bartending game. A lot of world building.
They definitely
do. Unique characters coming in talking about why they are brains.
A lot of things that you kind of wish you didn't know about.
A lot of details. People just in
Glitch
City,
things are bad in Glitch City. I'll say that's what we can say.
People wear their hearts on their sleeve in Glitch City. And so there's two kinds of world building you can do. You can do explicit world building, wherein you tell people how the world is like in that game through dialogue. Or there's implicit, where you set up a level and you let the visuals tell the story of what's going on that level I think Hitman does a great job of making you feel like you're in the world because of the visuals. And again,
the detail they can put into those levels is very impressive. And just I think that helps. Like the number of people that they can, with computing power, what it is now, the number of NPCs they can put in there makes those worlds feel alive, and you really feel like you're sneaking through a more of an actual scenario as opposed to this little corridor that they were able to put a few different NPCs in.
Right. Exactly, and that is one of the coolest things about what they've done with the game is the sheer number of non-playable characters, um, the way in which the NPCs react to things you do in the world. Which I have some complaints, but my complaints are, as always, on borderline insane. Because they're very good, like to the extent where you kill a guy and eventually they will body bag him and drag him
Yeah.
away, which I think is awesome.
But yeah, there are still aspects where you're like, okay, this is a video game, which is, that's going to happen. But
Well, like for example, I was watching Day Nine's playthrough of the first Hitman level, and he was because he couldn't really figure out how to do it, which because he hadn't played before, and you learn these things as you go. But he was throwing coins literally everywhere to distract guard after guard after guard into the same room, and then he would knock them out with busts and hide them behind tables in the room. And then he was kind of doing this all over the place. So this was an entire French mansion that was just full of bodies hidden behind tables. And
yeah,
he's just like, guys, guys, don't worry. I'm one of the best assassins in the world. This is my technique. You throw a coin, the guard comes, you knock him out with a bust, you hide him behind a table. Throw the coin again, another guard comes, knock him out behind the table. Eventually, you just have bodies lining the entire mansion.
I did see a GIF of a pile of someone who made a pile of bodies and had hidden underneath it, and a guard came to inspect the pile of bodies, and he popped out and hit him with the guy in the head with a hammer, which is pretty great. So
That's incredible. One of my favorite aspects of the game is actually throwing things at guards. For example, the baseball bat. I was having a lot of fun throwing that the other day. The Hitman character is great about just getting the nose of the bat to just go right into the person's forehead. It's
yeah,
fantastic throwing technique.
And the reactions are pretty great also.
The reaction's always great. I was just, Jay Bunny and I, again, the circumcision knife level, man, the Plague Doctor is set up on a stand on a stage, and you actually can put on the outfit and pretend you're the Plague Doctor.
Okay.
So that's what we did. Eventually, the target came into the room, and we're just sitting there as if we're the Plague Doctor. And when he and his two bodyguards weren't turning the other way, I got down off of the stand. I picked up the circumcision knife. I threw it and killed him with the circumcision knife, and I quickly got back on the stand and pretended to be the Plague Doctor again, and it just worked flawlessly. All the guards are looking around, but of course, it's too late. Who would suspect what is supposedly a Plague Doctor dummy?
A simple Plague Doctor.
It felt so fantastic.
Good stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely keep playing both of those.
All right, let's move on to the Nintendo Switch.
Big announcement stuff in the past week. They finally revealed a bit more about games. I kind of wish there had been a little bit more, but you can put me in the I'm excited for this camp, and I'll just play some trailers as we're talking here. First one, there's a new Mario game coming out, probably towards the end of this year though, and the start of it. Val, I don't know if you've seen. I didn't send you any trailers. I don't know if you've seen this, but
I have not.
It's created some serious questions about the Mario universe already. And by serious, I mean silly, because who cares about the Mario universe in terms?
I was gonna say, like, what are they taking this to a new dark direction?
I mean, here we are running around New Donk City, which is a pretty fantastic name for a city.
Wait, nude dog?
No, New Donk City.
Okay.
And there's like just people-sized people that Mario's running around, in the midst of. So that's like one area, as far as I can tell. They go to much more Mario-looking areas, but this is much more in the vein of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine. So this is, a type of 3D Mario game that we haven't seen in a while. So people are excited about that. It looks, Nintendo games always look fantastic to me, at least graphically. I don't really care about horsepower. Just the stuff they can do with their art direction and stuff, I think, is second to none for the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm digging the.
But yeah, I have no idea what's going on in New Donk City, but man, I can't wait to find out.
Wild city, man. I would take a trip to New Donk City.
But then,
why are there just normal people?
I'd say these are questions. But then, the big one, at least for me, is going to be the new Legend of Zelda game. Is going to be a launch game, so it comes out March 3rd, I believe. And this trailer pretty much just blew me away. At least as a pretty big Zelda fan, it's
I've only seen tidbits of it. I actually haven't seen the full
yeah.
trailer.
So they're doing there's some voice acting that they're doing, which I don't. It sounds fine, so I don't really care too much about that.
Right.
And then I don't think Link is going to be voice acted, which is fine because that would probably be a disaster if you tried to do that.
Well, he's not supposed to. You know, he's the silent type.
He is. But this will be interesting because it's kind of Nintendo's first step, at least in terms of a major franchise, into that open world kind of idea that we've been talking about. So this Zelda, like this map, is supposed to be enormous, like just the stuff you can do, the number of different weapons you can whip off of enemies, and they wear out, and you've got to deal with temperature, you've got to eat to regain health and that sort of stuff, cooking food and doing all this sort. There's a stealth mechanic where there's like a wave form in the corner of the screen, so you can see how much noise you're making as you're sneaking up on enemies. And
God, this looks awesome.
so I'm pretty hopeful. This trailer definitely did it for me. I don't speak Spanish, which is too bad.
Welcome, soy Carlos Luna. Madre mi guía. Mother may I. Ki haka aki compañero. I like friends. I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with.
Good. I agree.
Oh, I learned tonight. I apologize if you don't speak English, because then you're just going to unfortunately be insulted. But Madamus and J Money really like one of Madamus's favorite streamers is a League of Legends guy named Cutie Pie, I think is his name, something like that. But he always says
Cutie,
you dumb bitch.
Cutie Pie?
It's like Cutie Pie. It's not Pewdie Pie. It's like Cutie Pie. I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Not that important. But he says you dumb bitch a lot.
Okay.
But I learned that in Spanish, and it's stupido punta. So I apologize if you only know Spanish and I just called you a stupid or
Nice.
a dumb bitch. Because I have nothing I can follow that up with in Spanish to explain that I wasn't actually calling you
Yeah.
that. Oh man, this game looks really
Oh
incredible.
yeah. So I am. I pre-ordered this. Definitely. And there's been a lot of typical internet sarcasm and
In what way?
complaining about the launch lineup. So like, there's not a ton coming out, which is just.
Zelda's getting.
I say,
down
but
all the
I
time.
contend the fact that you've got a Zelda game. Like, go back and look at the Xbox One, the PS4 launches. As someone who got those consoles pretty early, it was rough.
Right,
Okay, there was not much there, and one Zelda game is going to hold me plenty long enough
right.
till this comes out, in the summer. So, mobile functionality, exactly. So, like the idea of the system, I guess, if people don't know, is that it's a screen about the size of the Wii U gamepad, but it's all screen, like a six-ish inch screen. It's got controllers that kind of snap into the sides. There's a lot of different control scheme options, and you can take it on the go, basically. So you can play, playing Zelda on the train or whatever in the car is something you can do now. You can play a console Zelda game wherever you want, which is pretty awesome.
Which is awesome.
And then
Now
this,
we're watching.
the next Splatoon game, which I was a big fan of the first one, just a really cool take on a shooter that, was very refreshing in that, you eventually you get, the number of shooters we play, especially, you get kind of tired of the same type of mechanics and everything. So this was very interesting and very new. And
Papa needs his shooters.
exactly. And so this is a new, all new levels, all new, a lot of new weapons, all new abilities, that sort of stuff. I'm excited for that. And then, and if Mario comes out at the end of this year, you've got Zelda, this, and Mario. That's just the ones they've announced so far. So the game library complaint doesn't make sense to me. There's other complaints that I think are nitpicky for the most part, but I don't want to get into it because I'm excited about it. So,
Are you still a squid kid in Splatoon 2?
oh yeah,
Or have they moved away from? Can you explain to me the squid kid concept?
so they wanted to have no. You're a squid, then you're a kid. Squid kid. And then in terms of RPGs, they've announced a lot of cool, this is the next Xenoblade game, which I keep meaning to get into one of these games, but this is like 100 some hour RPG, typically, which is
That's a lot of hours.
A bit of a commitment. But they're supposed to be fantastic.
That thing moving was stressing me out, man.
But they're supposed to be fantastic, like a very big world, all sorts of stuff. They just did announce a couple of Fire Emblem games.
I like Fire Emblem.
And Fire Emblem's grown in popularity quite a bit, so seeing a console Fire Emblem will be really cool. And then let me see if I can find that really short video of that RPG I sent you, Val.
Oh, I really want this one just because the art.
I say there's almost nothing. It's a 45-second trailer. But
I know nothing about it, but the
just that aesthetic. As soon as I saw it, I sent it to Val and said, "This is what we never knew we needed, and we need it now." Because it's just like I say, it's like a 16-bit basically RPG looking, but it's got depth. You can see shadows, so it looks turn-based, which I've been missing turn-based combat in my RPGs quite a bit. We grew up in the SNES, PlayStation, Final Fantasy era, at least.
Man, it looks so awesome.
And Octopath Traveler, also a fantastic name. So yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I hope people give it a chance because, Nintendo's just one of those, that's one of those companies that I need around in games if I'm going to keep. There's a lot of different games I play, but if I had to choose probably one system, at least home console system, I would probably choose Nintendo. Because the PC can give me enough. The Xbox and the PlayStation 4 just have not, I think of exclusives. I look at my shelf. There's just not much there. Whereas I look at the Nintendo games, that's the only place I can get those. And the game design they do is still, for platformers, for those types of games, if I just want to feel good and have a good time, they're second to none.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agree there. Do you know how long we've been going?
We've been going for a little bit. I started the stream a few minutes, so we're about 25 minutes, I think.
All right, this would be a good time because we can actually we should talk about then level design next episode because that in itself.
Yeah. Oh, one thing actually today I got an invite to actually preview the Switch in Chicago. I don't know why, but
what?
So hopefully I can go to that in the middle of February and. Give everyone a report on some of the games and stuff.
Well, it's because of our intense work in the games industry with games journalism.
I mean, we are on episode 7 of this podcast.
The hard-hitting takes people have demanded.
I think I did the math. I think we're averaging one like every 1.5 months. So, pretty good.
What's the math on that?
I think we're averaging an episode every month and a half.
My God, I mean, we are prolific. I think that makes us prolific.
So it's not a surprise that Nintendo reached out to me. But no, that's something I'm excited for. So.
No, that's very cool. Yeah, let me know we'll let all of us know. We can give you the exclusive Switch scoop.
Oh, yeah. So, if there's any quick questions from anyone in the chat.
And as you're formulating those questions, I'll kind of do the wrap-up, which should give you time for the stream to reach your ears and you to rattle your noggins for those questions that you've been wanting to ask us all week. But again, we had a great little night here. We talked about the things we're playing currently, which was mostly that horrid bartending game and Hitman.
It's an interesting game. That's all I'll say.
If you want something story-based and where you don't have a lot of agency.
I say I like the brief animations they do look good. The art looks good. I think it looks
cool,
cohesive. I enjoy the soundtrack quite a bit. Don't play full price for it. I did gotta have the Steam sale for like maybe $7. I've gotten my $7 out of it. Say
you're gonna want to very much enjoy sci-fi and very much enjoy having again basically no agency. It's just like reading a sci-fi book where there's only dialogue. And that's about it. Oh, you get to make drinks, I guess. That's your agency in the game. I don't know how much that influences the game, really.
I mean, it affects if you do it wrong, you don't get as much money. And I don't know what happens if you fail to, pay rent or something. But
I'm actually kind of curious about what would happen there if you just can't play anymore and just die, just kicks you out of the street. Anyway,
well, we did have that tank dating game that I finished quite abruptly.
Oh god, I forgot about that. Yeah, tell people about the Indian. We've got time. Tell people about the Indian too. The tank.
Panzer Madels, tank dating simulator. So this game, you are Erwin Lamore. I'll let you guys figure that one out. You're at a tank school, and you're the tanks turn out to be girls, and you decide you have to figure out which girl tank you want to date. You've got Sherman, you've got the Panzer, you've got Tiger, you've got TS-34, I think. Who did I? Oh, IS-2. Do not
stay away from
go after IS-2, because it will end abruptly and poorly for you.
Spoiler alert.
Another game where you have literally no real. I guess you can. There's choices, but it's another visual novel type game, and it is absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot. If you like World War II, there's a lot of World War II innuendo and jokes, which is good. If you're yearning for those, everyone shits on Poland. If you're looking for them Poland jokes, Panzer Madels Tank Dating Simulator is for you.
If you want to kind of date women, but they're tanks, there's literally no other option. So, you should get that game.
We're not judging here.
We've never judged here at No Shots Fired. I'd like to welcome Forever Faithless to the wrap-up portion of this stream.
I think we'll be doing some multiplayer or something, so we'll be streaming after this. But the podcast portion is concluded.
Yeah, we'll be doing something after this. But for episode 7, the Reluctant Raven and the Cashew, which is a name we'll have to explain later. This is it. Once again, we did not get to Barbie Horse Rescue, Wild Horse Adventures.
That's going to be the bulk of our level design conversation, I can tell.
Oh my gosh. Game. They got some of the best in the business to design that game. But we'll get to that next week.
Yep.
Yo, Lexi, we're going to give Lexi a shout out right before signing off. We're not actually signing off, the stream is over. But we got to put this up on YouTube because goddamn do the YouTube subscribers pay the bills in this business. So
I tried to put the last one up on YouTube. I have not succeeded yet. I'll keep trying to do that. For all our anxious fans waiting for that.
Technical difficulties once again. All right.
All right.
Later, folks. We out.